I think it's when people start teching with OKW, then we start to see problems. Like if they bail on getting that manpower force on the field, and then they go for the tech like an early Lukes or something, and that gets countered, and you just have nothing to back it up afterwards.
Yeah,
It's a
the
difficult one.
Lux is very hit and miss because it has so much potential. It can just win games outright, but the fact that you have no medics, it puts you in a very dangerous spot that you have to have a lot of impact. Whereas at least with something like a T70, if you lose a T70, okay, that's not a big deal. You still have medics, right? You can still win infantry engagements. So I think you normally see players only go for mech if they are pretty far ahead and they're pretty confident. At least against Soviets and US. I think against Brits, it's actually quite safe because Brits don't have any AT grenades, so you can really abuse that by using the Panzer II so aggressively.
Yeah.
But yeah, it always has the potential to backfire, which in tournaments, can be too much of a risk sometimes. But against maximum spam, quick Panzer II rush was generally the way to go, the way to play that game, the matchup.
Well, it's definitely an evolving OKW metagame at the moment. I don't think we've actually completely seen everything that we're to see of OKW. I mean, I played some games against Vindicare recently. I was pleasantly surprised that some of the builds he were doing, maybe that involved two Stern Pioneers as well, it just did actually work really well against what was on the field. But here we go, by the way, and nice to just spot Paula go straight in with Armored Assault. This is something that used to get used all the time in competitive play. Back when the T-3485s were a dual call-in. I don't know if you remember those days,
yeah.
where you could just pop in...
old days.
Yeah, pop in two T-3485s and an IS-2, no worries. We are fortunately past those days. But what is good about this, of course, he has, just as we saw previously with the Partisans, he has got access to radio intercept, and he is going to know the build order and teching of his opponent. So very, very useful intel there.
I think something else always underappreciated is how strong the IL-2 actually is. It's a loiter, so it'll get 3 strafes off, and it can wipe squads on its own. It's a very strong ability. And then you get the IS-2, you have 85, it's the perfect late game mix. And because you have the recon, or the radio intercept, it can allow you to out-meta your opponent in terms of you know what he's going for before he reveals it, so you can already have the AT grenades ready, or you can already have the Zis gun in position, or whatever the counter is. As for Brosras,
Yeah, I mean, that is
very quick battle group. Are you upset, Stormless?
Upset about what?
The quick battle group and
No, not at all. Like, I think it's good to keep your units pumped up like this. He may be going for an early MG, that may be the explanation for this, which wouldn't be necessarily all bad.
I suppose when you say you don't like them teching, you mean Panzer headquarters and stuff.
I mean when you actually go for vehicles, like early vehicles, that's
okay.
when I see OKW fail at the moment, in my own opinion at least. And what I hope here is that he's going to go for an MG. He's going to focus on a little bit of a lockdown and possibly get some more Volks, the Raketans, and then maybe work into something.
He's pushing away the conscripts. He's trying to deny the house. Very important.
Yeah, I mean, given that previously though as well, we saw him go for scavenger doctrine. So maybe he'll pop that again and fill out some of the infantry with those units.
This is a very early battle group. Normally you see 3, sometimes even 4 Volks before the battle group, which it can lend himself to getting pushed off the map entirely, especially when you have to rush out medics. But I think maybe the reason why is because his Stern Pioneers were so low in health, and even his Volks as well. So he would have struggled actually fighting those engagements with his squad so low in health. And yeah, getting an MG out, so having an MG34 in that central house will give him excellent map control of the VP, the cutoff, and the surrounding points. So I think this is actually a pretty good build order so far. We have 2 engineers here for Paul, one with a quick flamer out, the second one perhaps for a minesweeper. He lost in game 1 to some effective mines, certainly helped, so maybe he's a little bit wary of that. As we see, Brosras already planting some mines.
Yeah, really good as well. I don't know what he's expecting to come out so early from the Soviets, but I'm sure he's going to be ready for that T-70 when it does come. Here we go, by the way, MG's on the field and the Volks Grenadiers. This is exactly what I was expecting, to be honest, but I imagine we're going to see a couple of Raketans launched into there. I just see a lot of people playing this, and it's part of the reason I started doing it myself is after seeing a couple of people use it. It does provide quite a stable game for OKW, and Brosras, of course, is a very solid player. With the added addition of like these little disablers like mines and things, then he's working himself into a very good position. It's really refreshing to see people using OKW and actually getting results with them. Do you know what I mean? Especially against like the top seed in the tournament. People have this really bad perception of OKW at the moment, which has its own validations, of course, but it's certainly not an impossible faction to play with.
One thing that I really like from Paul is he's used the ghost sandbags and just the regular sandbags on those two entrances into the middle, and it means that the MG34 hasn't been able to set up in his house. He has to walk the long way around. He can't vault the fence. So it's denied Brosras getting this middle house, which is so important. And Paul's trying to take it himself with his own Maxim. Was forced away by a nice Volks flank here, but if Paul steals this middle house, then that's going to be a really big swing.
Look at this map control though, like the prowess that Brosras has is just so good, really. The early healing, I think, as well makes a big difference. Really does help to keep those engagements with the six-man squads going well. The capping right now, I wonder how he's going to do this. He's ghost sandbagging around Polar sandbags.
It's like the old Age of Empires 2 meme, where your opponent builds gates and then you build gates in front of their gates.
It's just, yeah. I mean, I like that. Do you know what I mean? It's another little cool play style. Paula's going to be pretty annoyed, I think, when he sees that.
So Brosras really needs to get this middle house, and he's trying to, but he can't really get through. Maybe it's worth him just setting up and destroying the ghost sandbags. It shouldn't take that long to destroy them and then just walk through. That being said, though, there's a fair bit of munitions here for Brosras, so we can just use the incendiary grenades to clear that out. And using the incendiary rounds on his MG34 to try and clear out this Maxim. Not very good damage though, the MG34 isn't known for its high damage. But double fuel currently for Brosras, so let's see what he goes for with this. Incendiary forces away the Maxim, so Paul is struggling here. Doesn't really have much map control to speak of. He is going for a half-track though, and he will have plenty of munitions in the bank for the quad upgrade. Brosras, he has one Raketten, but having a second one might help him. Trying to destroy the sandbags here with the Raketten is certainly nice. It allows his MG access.
Brosras has such a nice advantage here. With that double fuel, that's going to be really, really helpful to him, especially if he does decide to go into the Osmans as well. That'll be a huge benefit. Nice again to see that we're getting spread through the map. This quad cal could be absolutely lethal, although it does look like Brosras already has a Raketten on the field. If he pops another one, it would make it very, very difficult for him to move around the map with that unit in the way I assume he's intending to.
The engineers are very low. Looking at the VPs as well, Brosras already ahead by 50. 475 to his name. Now he's moving the Raketten up to try and destroy these sandbags. Still missing the Raketten shot. There we go. Finally hits one. It's going to be a little bit frustrating there for him. And we have the MG in this house near the fuel, so it will force away the engineers. Quad has arrived though. That Kubel is going down. Then a single volley. Could land a Faust here, but that won't do much more than secure the retreat. No, it doesn't even go through. He got pinned.
Yeah, no, the pin came on just as the Faust animation came on. So you got to saw the Faust, but full suppression went down and, of course, denied that. Very unfortunate. I wonder if we're going to see a second Raketten here. I mean, the threat... There we go, yeah, straight away. I mean, it's... it really is useful, yeah. I mean, now that he's gone, I think it's a clear decision for that Raketten. Otherwise, I'd say Brosras is in a really, really good position right now once that goes up. It does come down to Paul. He's built something from Tier 3, and I wasn't expecting that. I was actually more expecting him to go all the way up for Tier 4, maybe go like Katusha and T-3485. So I'm a little surprised to see him go for the Tier 3. But then again, now I think maybe he'll go up to IS-2 then, if that's the case. And that can be dangerous when playing against OKW,
You gotta remember, it's only 30 fuel, so the quad half-track isn't delaying his tech by much at all. It's just the manpower and the munitions. The 30 fuel is not much at all, and it will force away squads. So I think it's a really good investment. Going for the T70, perhaps, not a good idea. Oh, what? There goes the MG. There's only that forward, the forward door there, so he can't actually evac backwards away from that quad half-track. It's very punishing. So there's 2
Yeah,
Raketans, 3
I see
Volks.
a couple of people, by the way, in chat criticizing a disappearing Faust. That is meant to happen. That's meant to be there. So it happens when you take full suppression.
When you get pinned, yeah. Sneaking up with the Raketan, but he's revealed by the MG in the house. So now this is where things get ugly for Brosras, because he's versing 3 machine guns. The Panzer headquarters, though, almost wipes the conscript squad. But maybe Brosras needs an ISG at this stage, because 3 machine guns is quite devastating. For OKW, they don't have a mortar, don't have smoke. It's a little bit hard to deal with that many machine guns.
Yeah, I mean, a difficult one for him. The map turnaround has been huge here. I wonder, considering he's got Battle Group, if he may consider going for ISGs. I don't know really, other than the Ostwind, what he's going to plan to do against that. Plus, I think ISGs might be a pleasant thing to do here.
That being said, where his Panzer headquarters is located, it's going to prevent any captures of his fuel point. So Paul can't harass that fuel. And that should allow Brosras to stall for a Panzer IV. He's not that far off it. Just needs to wait out for a couple of minutes. And
Gotta say, this aggravates me so much when people build OKW headquarters like this.
Well, you think it's too risky? Or you mean versing it?
No, it's turned round. It should be facing the direction that units come from to make sure that the turrets
you're
can,
right.
take aim quickly.
Yeah, it's going to take about a second to rotate the actual gun itself. That's a good point. I never thought about that.
I'm sure Despa will do a video on it at some point.
And it'll shock everyone, and it'll be debates about it. Okay, 2 Raketans here in the middle, looking for some camo action. One of them has been revealed. Fires the first one, the second one as well. Perhaps gets the kill. KO. There is a dead half-track.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely great vision. Here comes that ISG we were talking about, by the way. I've got to say that Raketan placement, absolutely beautiful. Great, like... It's just great play, really, you know, and against Paula as well, you know, if Paula's not expecting it, then, you know, who would?
So, Paul has a mortar, which he's just using on Barrage to try and take this Panzer headquarters down. Whittle it away, maybe follow it up with a Zis gun just to do something. Paul's building a tier 4, so maybe going to go for an 85 even, because SU-85s can 1v1 that Panzer headquarters so quickly with the sight range. But we'll probably
I'm not pinning Paula down as that type of player right now. I think with like the field push advantage he has, you're going to bet SU-85, I'm going to bet Katusha. I just have a feeling it'll end up that way.
It's actually probably 85. T-34 85.
T-34 85.
I said I would have liked to see the 85 to use it on the focus site and just kill that Panzer headquarters, but probably 85. I would say.
I have a feeling like, and this is just on experience of people in this position, the Katusha, I mean, he'll probably be like utilizing something like that to fire into the base. We'll see. He has got the mortar up already, and I think the mortar is targeting the tier 4 building, so maybe he won't need to lean on indirect fire, but
because he doesn't have
it's going to be an interesting one to say the least.
He can't go for a caddy first until he gets either a Zis gun out, get AT grenades. He can't use the caddy without support of a vehicle. So maybe afterwards we'll go caddy.
This is Paulo we're talking about.
Yeah, okay.
He could not do a lot of things, but still does them.
So the ISG
the important thing is that he does them well.
Panzer headquarters, it's about just over half health, and the mortar has been doing some good work. Big blob in the middle, Maxim, no, the MG34 in fact, and Maxim as well. There's 2 MGs there in the middle. Triple cap at the moment for Paul. There's a demo in that house as well. And the thing is with the default camera angle, that's nasty. Because even if it's revealed, you might not actually see it there. He's going to retreat through it, but his cons are nearby. So it might not have been worth going the detonation there.
Yeah, that is a... I'm going to have a look actually, if maybe Fog of War... I don't want to work like that.
So Paul's building a Zis gun. So maybe he will go caddy now that he actually has some form of AT, or we might use it to go for this Panzer headquarters. It's quite low, half health, so it's quite risky if you don't have the command Panther, which he doesn't. Means that if that goes down, Brosras will have to just spam Ostwinds. It's a very advantageous position for the Panzer headquarters because it covers the fuel, but it is kind of exposed there. You can see that very easily. Sometimes you see players build it more to the southwest, because then you have the hedge blocking the shot from a certain angle. But where it is now,
Yeah,
it's
there are
really
some
exposed.
situations of that where you can also cover that kind of center strategic point that cuts you off from the left side of the map.
Yeah.
So there are a number of good ways you can do that. Wow, look at that shot from the ISG. Four models wiped out that conscript squad. Doing good work. I think the ISG is potentially a little bit underrated, you know. The ISG can do some really good performance work. I think the real question here right now is where exactly does Brosras go?
There's more demos.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of demos.
Where does Brosras go? Probably a Panzer IV, just get some good
No,
manpower.
I'm actually talking about like map direction.
Oh,
When
okay.
you do get triple capitals, like, you know, you want to be thinking about where you can go on that. And I think he's like strongly fought on the left side so far, but of course he is so easily denied through the mid when he does that. So it's almost like the sensible choice for him right now to continue up on the right and then try and push out from there. Still interested to see this vehicle that's going to come out from Tier 4 though. We're well beyond the resources for anything.
Yeah, that's true. He's a bit
I mean,
too far
really,
off his IS-2, so it'll have to be something from his Tier 4 at least beforehand.
I don't know, I'm almost getting the impression that he's maybe going to use that manpower to reinforce and not get a vehicle from Tier 4, but then why build Tier 4? It's an odd decision.
Well, it keeps his options open. You get a bit of command points for it, so it actually speeds up the IS-2. It'll be easy for him to adapt if he needs to.
Oh,
demo.
The
That was shot
mortar hits the demo, I think.
It would have been revealed. Yeah, maybe someone fired it.
No,
I'm
sorry.
not sure. But either way, good clearing out there by Brosras. Intentional or not, the demo didn't get any victims. And now we have the Panzer IV.
Panzer IV hits the field, yeah.
So where does he go with it? Probably up north. Because the north has the Panzer headquarters near the fuel, it'll be much easier to hold the north if he gets it, rather than the middle and the bottom.
Baller missed a great opportunity there to wipe a squad with the demo charges on his house. He may get the Stern Pioneers with it now. He does decide to go for them. Not sure if that was planned or not, but he did make the best of a... in there.
That's his only minesweeper.
That, of course, is a big loss as well. Yeah, it's a big loss for him there.
AT grenades aren't available here. The Panzer IV being very aggressive. Doesn't have the Pintle just yet, but that'll make a big difference when he gets that. The thing is with the Panzer IV is the penetration isn't very good. So against the IS-2, there isn't really any consistent anti-tank. And there's Raketten's just standing there getting decrewed. What's he doing? He's going to lose that one. He's going to need all the AT that he can get his hands on against an IS-2. He may just cap it though, but the Volks get suppressed. You can't recruit when you're suppressed. That's a big misplay there.
He's going to try and take that from right in front of him.
Maybe going to nade this though with the Volks. He's probably going to deny it too. Nice.
Yeah, good decision.
But he can't cap it back now until the flames die out. And the Maxim, once again, may just suppress the Volks, preventing them from capping it. For the ISG's taking that Maxim down incredibly low. Oh, the P4 gets the engineers, almost actually detonated the demo charge. And we have a Zisgun, has fired its first shot off. Raketten still hasn't been captured.
No, it's going to be a desperate fight for that. Here we see the, what is this? It's
The
coming in. We've got the
IL-2
IL-2 Sturmovik attacked. A lot of damage to that MG gun. 3 models wiped. Will the OKW-based defenses be able to deal with that? It's also got the Tier 4 as well, so hopefully you can get rid of that aircraft.
The Panzer headquarters is within range of that Raketten. Might have its shot blocked off though by that hedge. Yeah, I think it does. So the Raketten was stolen. So
Yeah, Raketten has been stolen. I wonder how he's going to use it though. He's
now it's
just getting targeted by Tier 4. And good use of the Sturmovik, by the way, to actually go and recap those things. He's stolen a fair amount now from Brosras, who isn't having the most fortunate of games.
Yeah, he's losing that MG34 was a massive blow because he just can't deal with this many MGs. The ISG's been doing damage. It's got 18 kills, which is nice, but it just doesn't have the VPs and the map control which he needs. And oh, the Stern Pyros get wiped by the IL-2 while repairing that P4 in the base.
Oh no!
How did he have vision of that though? Was it because the Pintle fired at the plane, and then because that it got revealed, which then revealed the Stern Pioneers? That's pretty ridiculous if that was the case. And
it's quite possible. I mean, in that situation, yeah, if the Pintle does fire, then it would reveal the tank at least, and maybe if they're repairing it, them as well.
Oh, the Raketin set up as
very,
well
very
as
unfortunate if that's the case.
He's probably going to lose his Panzer IV too, I think. Bounces a shot off there, so it gets away. Demo doesn't quite get the Volks, but Engineers may follow this one up with a Flamer. Will he get a second shot off here? The Volks could even wipe the Engineer squad if he's not careful. Retreating through the fire.
No, I really can't believe it. He did actually go for the IS-2. That was totally unexpected. Like,
Yeah,
why
we're both
build
wrong, right?
Tier 4? I'm just totally wrong about that. Yeah, neither of the bets count. This is a difficult one. Still, we're at 13 CP now. No doctrine chosen from Brosras. I kind of get the feeling that maybe he went into this game without the right loadout. You know, you should... I don't see any reason why you wouldn't put special operations in your loadout, because... You know, it's such a guarantee in case you do lose Tier 4 that you've always got a call-in tank, especially one that has a mark target. It works very well against IS-2.
True. The Forest is questionable. I think the other two are pretty solid choices, but with Forest, I don't know why you needed that. He's going to get a Faust off here. I think he needs another shot for it, though, to actually get the damage engine. It bounces.
I don't know. I think he may get this Faust. No, he doesn't.
Didn't.
There's a little more health off.
And another IL-2.
Another Sturmovik in.
I guess the Raketin on retreat. And this Panzer IV hasn't been repaired. Only just now getting it. And the Panzer IV is backing away from the circle. He doesn't want to make the same mistake twice. 2 AT guns now going to be setting up near the Panzer headquarters to maybe take him out with the IS-2 soaking up the shells.
IS-2 nearly hits the Tier 4 as well. For added damage. There we go. This has got to be...
Panzer headquarters. Yeah, it's going to be it. The Panzer IV on his own cannot deal with this IS-2. Brosras, he just got outplayed, I think. He lost the MG. I can't remember how he lost that exactly. And Paul is using combined arms. He used his conscripts in conjunction with his machine guns. So I think he played a pretty good game overall.
Yeah, I mean, the early game was definitely Brosras, I think, and Paul did a good recovery, I would have to say. It's just solid, though. That's the good thing about Soviets, is that, you know, you are able to kind of go other counters quite quickly. I think the way that Paul picked his commander as well, it's quite versatile, you know. He has got the option of everything. He could have gone with a Tier 3 in the IS-2, or he could have gone, you know, straight up to Tier 4 and had the benefit of T-34-85s. Like, Armored Assault is very versatile in that respect to your vehicle teching.
Yeah, it really gives you not only choices in terms of 85's IS-2, but also the intelligence to make the intel to make the decision. Using Armored Assault doesn't make you a more intelligent person. I cannot guarantee that will fix your problems if you're struggling your exams, you need to study more, but it will give you the intel, at least, if that helps.
It has always been such an underrated ability in this game, though. We always see Loveness go for things like this. In fact, he's really, really hot on Armored Assault and things like that. You know, you think about this game and just think about it in the respect that during this game, Paula knew every single thing that Brosras brought onto the field. And, you know, and then you consider what this game might have been like if he didn't know that information. And it may have been a different game. But, you know, it's a good commander pick for that. And you do have to still use it well. It doesn't make you invincible.
Against the IS-2, you really need to have a Panzer IV or a Panther. Raketins just don't cut it. Panzer IVs don't penny. He caused an Ostwind. He didn't really have much chance. They're trying to decrew these AT guns. They actually may succeed here with this Raketin. Trying to circle this IS-2, but there's this gun firing behind him. And there it goes. One dead Ostwind. A tragic defeat here for Brosras.
It's like watching a lion dying, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. But at least Paul was, you know, we all kind of thought he would go through the grand final, and now we're not being proved wrong, I suppose. Brosras still hanging into this one. 26
Yeah,
VPs.
I don't really know what is convincing him to stay in this game on 26 VPs. Maybe he just knows it's going to be on stream and he wants to maybe try and take down the IS-2 just to prove that he can. But this is definitely going to be a game closure here, especially at potential triple cap coming in by Paula, which is inevitably going to happen after the push of this T-3485 and the IS-2. And here we go, possibly last push of the semi-finals game here. IS-2 and T-3485 do go around. They're trying to get some rear armor shots. It doesn't really matter though. The IS-2 will penetrate, and Brosras does throw in the towel. Good games. Shame that we didn't get to cast game 2, but
Yeah.
there we have it.
I liked how there was 2 squads of conscripts that were directly in front of those tanks, and they just all got out of the way as the tanks drove forward to finish off that P4. Silly conscripts, what are you doing? But yeah, it was a slow and steady game, if that makes sense. It wasn't completely wow, flashy in your face like their other games were, but you could see it was a gradual decline of map control for Brosras there, and
Yeah, demos in that one I think were really one of the most important things. I think demos really,
yeah.
and this is little advice for any players that are going to be playing Paula in upcoming tournament games. Check for demos because he's used them in every single game as allies that we've cast so far, bar USF. So they're clearly valuable to him. He's using them quite well, but you see how devastating that is, really. Catch someone off with the demo. That is a squad wipe near guaranteed, and he's using like 2 or 3 of them. And the kind of way that you can offset a game like that, if a player doesn't react to the first demo charge by getting minesweepers and being very cautious, you can easily lose a hell of a lot quickly.